That's a big part of Peacemaker, is the chrome helmet.
It's a war film. It's a comic book film. It's a film about a bunch of Z-grade supervillains.
I mean, it is just one thing after the next. It's go, go, go.
It has a lot of shocking moments. It's really funny.
Yeah, like none of you are really in the Suicide
Not
Squad.
really. Not really. I get it.
Now I will formally say, James Gunn, it is so freaking cool to see you, man.
You too. You too.
This is just genius. I mean, I have never seen anything like this. I want more. Like, I seriously left the theater. I was like, I want more. So kudos to you, my friend. You know, a lot of people are saying, and I've read this and I'm sure you have as well. I saw your Twitter Q&A. That was genius as well. But people are saying that James Gunned this movie. And I get it. I want to know what your response to hearing something like that is, because you've got a style, my friend. I don't need to tell you. You know, we talked at the Guardians movies. What is your response to when you hear that?
I think this sounds, it's true. I mean, it is true. I feel extremely grateful that Warner Brothers gave me the freedom to really do a big movie, but do it in a creative way. And a lot of spectacle films these days get formulaic. They have the same basic, 3-act structure. And that Warner Brothers allowed me to do what I did that was so extreme, that was both violent and gory and incredibly heartfelt, and, was a great action adventure movie at the heart of it, was just a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And as a fan, a film fan and a comic book fan, I felt that, it was my responsibility to really go wild with it if I was going to be given that responsibility.
So much action going on a scale from 1 to 10. What level was this to film?
Well, to film it was great because we got to use a lot of practical stuff. So you got to be in the action when you did the action. But I think for a moviegoer, you're right. It's nonstop. The film does not stop. You have 25 main cast and you have to tell all their story and sprint them through this unbelievable mythical journey. So, I mean, the first 10 minutes of the movie, the audience isn't ready for. And it doesn't fall off after that. You think it's like, okay, we're going to slow down, and you do not have time to catch your breath. And within all that action, the film still does have a heart and amazing emotion. And it really is something that's going to be wonderful on the big screen and a pleasure to be a part of.
Joel, this is the challenge for you. All right, stay spoiler free. But what do you think is going to shock and surprise fans the most when they see this?
I don't know. There's a lot of shocking elements in this film. And, James just completely goes for it. He knows this genre so well. So he knows how hard he can swing. And yeah, no one's safe. No one's safe.
This movie, I mean, literally 5 minutes in, this movie is already at 100 and it does not slow down for 1 minute. It is just one thing after the next. It's go, go, go. And it's so fun and big. And we've got huge action and we've got, very, very funny scenes and amazing dialogue and a ton of characters and some very bizarre characters. And, but there's also like a lot of heart. And so I loved getting to hang out with everyone because we all just became a family so quickly. But also it was fun for Harley, I think, to have a new kind of group of people to interact with, because that always brings something new out in her.
I have to ask about your co-stars, not the humans. I want to know about the rats.
They were really professional. They were all the time, like every day on time. They were ready to work. I love that. And yeah, they were also ready to go to their chairs to take a nap, as I was used to do all the time as well.
Since everybody in this movie, not necessarily bad guys, but they're not Boy Scouts either, was everybody trying to just out-bad everybody else? Answer me truthfully.
Absolutely. None of us wanted to earn merit badges. None of us wanted to learn how to tie knots. We just wanted to be rude. We wanted to see who could insult the other person more. I would frequently, anytime someone had a paper plate of food and wasn't paying attention, I would slap it out of their hands and say, oops, and I didn't mean it.
Nathan, chime in on that one, man. Was this just like a fun thing to do, a fun thing to make?
Yes, both are true. It was absolutely fun, and Flula would do those terrible, terrible things to kind of like an alpha male everybody. You know, he'd say, "Oh yeah, they offered me your role, Nathan." I said, "No, I don't want to be that stupid character." He would say things like that to me, to my face.
I said it. I'll say it again. Remind me.
Flula. All right, Jai. We talked the last Suicide Squad, and I want to know how this one felt different for you.
It just was a whole new kind of kettle of fish, man. We had a whole new group of people. Obviously, the material shifts quite a bit. James wrote a killer script, and I don't know. He injected some elements into this that I think fans are really going to be grateful. We sort of really got to see. There's an expendability to some of these characters. You know, it's already been out there that nobody is safe, and I think we feel that from the outset. There's a genuine threat. And it's integral to buying into this kind of concept with the Suicide Squad. I don't know, dude. I mean, look, tonally it was kind of different, but it was. We had a ball making the first film as well. It's just like it was like a unique new opportunity to kind of do something with similar characters, but without being bound to anything in particular. Yes, Nathan.
Sorry, Jai. I have a question. Are
yes.
the three of you from the original film? Are you kind of looking around at everybody else saying, "Look at the new guy"? Like everyone is the new guy?
Yeah, like none of you are really in the Suicide Squad.
Not really. I get it.
That's fair. I'm glad. First of all, that's fair. Second, I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's
hey,
I knew it.
You know, Nathan, I hadn't even thought to ask that because you never know if a publicist is going to zap. But the fact that you threw that in there, I really, really like that. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
But you know what? It's not Joel. It's not Joel, me, or Margot that's talking shit on everyone. It's Viola.
Non-stop.
She's the one that really is like
that. I believe
in a movie that's full of like bad guys. They're not Boy Scouts. It's kind of hard to figure out who the villains are. So would you consider you guys being the villains in this one?
It's a good question because we are not sure about it, you know. But obviously, Mateo Suarez, it's a really billion, you know. The Suicide Squad, they are a good billions, you know, a very nice billions. But Mateo Suarez is a really bad guy. He wants to kill the president to be the next one. You know, it's a real billion. I think so because it's
okay. Why not? Hey, Juan, do you want to jump in on that? Because I really was thinking about your character, and I don't want to give away too much, obviously. But was it fun to kind of be in that role?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was definitely fun to play. It was a strange, ambitious young man who has these wonderful scenes with Joaquin and with Margot, and with a bunch of beautiful rainbow lorikeets, and it was definitely a good character to play.
All right, was there a little bit of nervousness though? Because, you know, like the Q&A you did on Twitter, you know, these comic fans are intense, they're hardcore, and they can be pretty critical. Was there nervousness, you know, when you started?
No, there was no nervousness at all when I started. I mean, I was really very, very excited about the project because, you know, the reason I chose to do the Suicide Squad over doing another project was because I felt like I had a great story for it. I could tell that story in a unique way. It's a war film. It's a comic book film. It's a film about a bunch of Z-grade supervillains. And it's a story about people who are trying to connect with each other. And I thought it was something that I could tell in a unique way. I don't get nervous until after the movie is done and no one has seen it. And I go, what have I done? I think that are people just going to think they watched me go crazy for 2 hours and 12 minutes, which I kind of did.
You did, but I don't think you're going to have that problem with this one. The entire world is anticipating this movie.
How do you get ready for a role like this?
So usually I train anyway. It's the diet that I kind of I manipulate and I change depending on the role. And I knew once I got the paperwork and it said Mongal, the actual character, I realized how strong and aggressive looking she was. So I went into the gym and just lifted the whole gym. I just lifted everyone in it. Through the smoke machine.
Weights.
Yeah, just like that performance, just walking out like as because I knew it was the hard thing is not building the muscles, maintaining it while on set, because I probably wouldn't be able to have time to train. So I had to build a lot before I went on there.
It's so funny because I'm used to doing a lot of action in the show that I used to do, Queen of the South, and then like with some films that I've done already. But this one specifically for me was much more a relationship with the other actors and the other characters than the physical part of it. I mean, the scenes that the Mayling has, like they're actual scenes like of action scenes. For this one specifically was a different type of prep for me because, I mean, I was already working out and I think the character had to be strong because she lives in the jungle and all that. And she's a guerrilla person. But I didn't have one specific training for this one. And I was filming it on the project at the same time. So it was traveling between sets. So I had to kind of find a middle ground between both characters.
All right, John, I want to talk with you both about costumes. First of all, what is that thing on your head called? Was it heavy? Tell me about it, John.
So those are familiar with the Peacemaker series, which I don't expect many people out there because, James specifically picks kind of virtual unknowns to showcase. That's a big part of Peacemaker is the chrome helmet. And they wanted to recreate it. And I think it plays a lot into the character of the film, especially Peacemaker's relationship with Bloodsport. And I think that's a really good storyline in the film because in the film, each character has their own definable set of skills. And the only two characters that share sets of skills are Peacemaker and Bloodsport. And I think all of Peacemaker's costume, just as all of Bloodsport's costume, helps to tell that story and fuel that rivalry.
Just between us, it'll be our secret. Well, Joel's in on it now. Did you get to keep one of those though, maybe? Or
so you only have to give it back if you take it off. So I just had to keep wearing it until we wrapped.
I love it. All right, Joel, tell me about the pluses and the minuses to costuming for you in this film.
It was easy. It was a quick. Costume took me about 2 minutes. I just throw that t-shirt on, pull the pants up, and I'm done.
John Cena told me this morning he got to keep. He figured if he didn't take any parts of his costume off, he could just walk out with it. So, were you able to keep anything? Have you been able to keep? It'll be our secret.
I didn't keep anything from this movie. I'm so annoyed with myself. And then I saw John rock up to press wearing his entire costume, and I was like, "Damn it! I should have tried to take something." I've still got my jacket and baseball bat from the first Suicide Squad film, but that's it. I didn't get anything from this film. What an idiot!
Daniela, did you get a rat? I know, Margot. Actually, I knew you got a rat from the last one.
Yeah, I got a rat last time. I didn't need one this time.
Okay, but Daniela, were you able to keep anything from the set?
No, because I'm a newbie. I didn't know that I could ask or I could just put in my pocket. I was too afraid to ask. Yeah, I was too afraid. But now, they're all my friends. So next time, if there's a next time, I hope so, I'll ask for sure.
I want to talk about the challenges to filming. It's a huge cast, and it's just a bunch of big names. You got to work with everybody. Sets, filming, the action, it's nonstop from beginning to end. Tell me the challenges.
Well, the challenges are getting people's schedules aligned with each other. People like Joel Kinnaman, who stars on a TV show, and I really, really wanted Joel to be in the movie. But I, for a minute, thought we were going to have to replace him with somebody else because his challenges of scheduling. Nathan Fillion was a star of a show called The Rookie, and they were very good with us in allowing us to take him when we needed to take him. Pete Davidson was on Saturday Night Live. So getting these people who were on other TV shows and arranging so many people with their multitude of, scheduling. Margot Robbie was out promoting Birds of Prey at the time. So we had to get her in between those things. So that was the most difficult part. But once they were together, this really is the greatest group of actors I've ever worked with and the biggest movie I've ever made. And they were just the best. There is not a bad apple among them. I say it all the time, and I completely mean it. It is really it was my pleasure to be able to work with so many people who are huge stars and none of whom have huge egos.
You know, Juan, this is one of the most anticipated movies of the summer. I, as a fan, I've seen it. I loved it. I'm going to go see it again. I've already told Warner Brothers that. How does that make you feel knowing that, you know, the entire world is waiting for this movie? As an actor, how excited does that make you?
It's amazing. I mean, it's being part of something that, you know, the whole world, not just the US, not just Latin America, not just Europe, the whole world is expecting and it's going to watch. And that is an amazing feeling. I mean, plus, they're going to like it. Meaning, sometimes, you know, something, it has so many commercials that you think people are expecting it. But in this case, they're expecting it. And I'm sure, because I've watched it, they're going to like it.
Joaquin, I got to get your thoughts on that. Again, most anticipated film. It's exciting. It's a summer blockbuster. Your thoughts, my friend?
Well, it's, you know something, the best part of a movie is to make it, you know, that's the funniest part. Obviously it's great, the premiere and all the reviews and all the people watching it, but the best thing for an actor, what I thought, is to make the movies, to be in the adventure that it means, you know. To make Suicide was a big adventure for us, in Panama, in the ocean, in the forest, with the costume, with the guns, with everything. It was amazing. It's what I think. I'm very happy to be in the movie, and it's going to be in all of the cinemas of the world, you know.
Mayling, tell me what it was like to work with such a large ensemble. I mean, there are a lot of wonderful actors and actresses in this film. What was it like to see everybody working together?
I mean, it was pretty surreal. I think on the day, I've mentioned this before, on the table read of the day, I got a Facebook notification saying 4 years today, you moved to the US on this O1 actor's visa. And then 4 years to the day, I'm sitting across and there's Idris and Joel and Margot and like James and everyone. And I'm just like, okay, someone's going to tap me and tell me to leave in a minute. Like, I was just sitting there trying not to bottle it. I was like absolutely bricking it. But it was, you know, it was just really fun, very friendly and welcoming set.
I mean, it's amazing because it's such a huge group of different actors with different backgrounds, of different nationalities. And I think once you bring that to a film, it's so exciting. And like that, I mean, when you meet actors like Idris, I relate to what Mayling is saying. Like, it's just, he's such a powerful, strong actor. You just get like, oh my God, like, or Margot, and just the idea of having different actors with different backgrounds of different countries and different schools. You always bring an energy to the film that the audience relate. The audience can see themselves in it because there's so many colors and so many strengths that it's so beautiful. And I think that's important. And also when you add that with a lot of laughs, with a lot of explosions, with a lot of blood, I think it's kind of the perfect movie.
Now that it's finally here, one of the big summer blockbusters. John, tell me the excitement level that you have now that it's finally going to hit the big screen. People can go see this in theaters and get excited about it.
Well, you know, obviously The Suicide Squad in all its effects is a movie that needs to be seen on the big screen, but it's also one of those genre-changing movies. And I think that's what's important here. It really, you know, takes the traditional tale of superheroes and turns it upside down. And I think it's a wonderful charge that people don't know they need yet. Like I always tell people, the best way to describe it is no one's ready to see this movie, but everybody needs it in their life. And when you see it on the big screen, it truly is an experience.
Yeah, when I saw that in the theater, I was almost moved by the thought that, you know, we've been deprived of these communal experiences, and this film, I think, you know, it's the kind of film that you want to see in a theater. It has a lot of shocking moments. It's really funny, and it's one of those films that you want to see with a lot of other people and just, you know, share a laughter with 200 people.
Margot, we'll close with this. It's one of the biggest summer blockbusters. Everybody's looking forward to this worldwide. What will you be doing on release day?
Gosh, I think I'll be at work. But if I wasn't at work, I would actually like to go see it in the theater with an audience and just kind of see everyone's reactions, because it's such a, I mean, there's like laugh out loud moments, there's like gasp moments, there's, you know, tearjerker moments. But it's just such a big experience that I think on the big screen, people are going to have like a real kind of crazy time watching it. So if I could, I would definitely go to a theater and just be amongst a group of people when they experience it for the first time.
I do not mind.
So I got to get this in. Since Javelin is a former Olympian, are you watching the Olympics? And Flula, tell me what your favorite sports are to watch on the Olympics.
I love a lot of the hooping, a lot of the dunking. Of course, I got to pull for my German javeliners. We got some nasty javelin dudes, Dave. Some really good ones.
You guys are great. All right. Behave yourselves. I'll see you all next time in person. Great work. And this is a fun room. Everybody warned me. This is great. Love it.
See you,
Thanks,
Dave.
Dave. Yes.
See y'all.